I reached my goal of becoming a millionaire just last year, which is super exciting. I am going to share in today's video my overnight success of becoming a millionaire. And a lot of people really think that becoming a millionaire really is an overnight success story, but there is a bit more that goes into it. I am Tiffany Thomas with WealthyTiffany.com, and I have achieved financial freedom and became a millionaire. If you are looking to do those things as well, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, and we are going to dive right in. All right, today's video is my story of becoming a millionaire. And while yes, some people get really lucky and become a millionaire overnight, there are actually a few more things that go into becoming a millionaire. And people also think that millionaire habits are things like getting up at 5 a.m. and going to bed at 9 p.m. I'm not a super early morning person, I'm more of a night owl. Or reading a self-improvement book for 30 minutes every day. Or even eat a certain breakfast every morning like raw eggs, which I would never do. And while yes, it is important to eat as healthy as possible, that is not really something that helped me become a millionaire. And going along with eating healthy, they also talk about physical health. So they talk about going for a 5-mile run every day or something really specific. I am not a runner, so I am not going for a run at all. I personally love doing Zumba and I'm actually Zumba certified. So that's what I enjoy for exercise. But again, that is not what really helped me become a millionaire. Comment below and tell me if you have done Zumba or not. But in all honesty, it has less to do with those specific habits that you can implement, and it really is more about your mindset and what you are actually doing with your money. I remember when I was a little girl and I earned my first dollar. My mom asked me, "What are you going to do with 10% of that money, Tiffany?" And I thought, oh, I'm going to pay my tithing. So right away, that was the very first thing that I was going to do with my earned money, was pay my tithing. And then the next thing that I was taught to do with my money was to save it. I was taught to always have something in my savings account. And honestly, a lot of the times I wasn't saving for anything specific, I was just saving my money. Tell me in the comments if you are a saver as well and you just save your money, but you don't really have specific things that you save for. I've since changed that habit and now save my money, but I also invest it. But I try to be more goal-oriented and focus in on something that I want to work toward with my money. Whether that is saving up for a trip to Hawaii or Italy or Israel. Israel happened to be my favorite vacation. Or it could even be saving up for a car or even a down payment on a house. But it was definitely instilled in me at a young age to save my money. And when I was growing up, my parents were nice enough to give us an allowance. I had to do my chores, of course. I had to clean the bathroom, clean my room, I had to dust the whole house, I had to water the plants, things like that. But after I did my chores, I received a monthly, or maybe it was even a weekly allowance, I don't remember for sure. But my parents gave us that money and I made sure to pay my tithing and put some of that into savings. And then I could spend the rest, but I just wasn't a real big spender. But I was just talking to my sister the other day and she reminded me of when we were younger and she would ask to borrow money from me and I would say, okay, I'll lend you this amount of money until this day, but if you pay me back late, then I'm going to charge you interest. I actually didn't remember doing that, but as she was telling me, I thought, you know what, I probably did do that because it sounds like something I would do. So even at a young age, I knew the importance of money. I knew that I needed to save money, and when I was lending my money out, I needed to get something in return for that. And I'm not saying everyone should do that, but apparently that was on my mind even when I was younger. And my first actual job was at a call center. It was at Teleperformance, and I was doing outbound calls, which I did not love. Tell me in the comments if anyone has worked at a call center. But nonetheless, I got a paycheck from that job. I would of course pay my tithing, and then I would put money toward my savings. And then I continued this way for a while. I was a huge saver for the majority of my life until I started learning about the power of investing my money. When I got a job that offered a 401k package, I was putting a little bit of money into that 401k, but I didn't realize the full potential of investing that money. I also later on set up a Roth IRA and put some money in that, but once again, it didn't click that I needed to be investing as much as possible as soon as possible. And even when I bought my first property back in 2005, so quite a while ago, I thought, okay, this is good. I know I need to be having my money work for me. And I got roommates, so I was creating even extra income that way. But it took me until 10 years later, until 2015, to buy my second property. I had a ton of money sitting in savings. I don't remember exactly how much. It was probably 50 grand or so, but it was sitting in my savings account, and I kept thinking, I know I need to do something with this money. So I ended up investing in real estate. And once I did that, I had my first rental property, and that went really well. And I knew I needed to make my money work for me even more. So I bought another property and another property. And if you've watched some of my recent videos, you know that I sold one of those properties recently. You can check out the video about that. I'll leave a link above and below in the description. And as you can see from my new background today, I have moved into my new place. But honestly, investing my money has made the biggest difference for me becoming a millionaire. I could have saved and saved and saved and saved, but I honestly would not be a millionaire right now if I had left all of my money in a savings account. And the other thing is, if I would have invested more of my money even earlier, I would have been a millionaire even sooner. And let me share a very quick and simple example on exactly what I'm talking about, so that you can see how your money can grow when you are investing it. After I graduated from college with my bachelor's in 2001, a super long time ago, I got a full-time job the next summer in 2002. And luckily, I graduated without any student loans, and I was able to live at my parents' house, which I know not everyone is able to do that, but I was able to save a lot of money that way. Needless to say, my expenses were very low at that time, and I was making about $2,000 a month, so let's say I invested 20% of that, since my expenses were super low, which would be $400 a month. And if I did that from about June of 2002 to March of 2007, let's say I put it in something really simple, just a fund that follows the total stock market. My return over that period of time would be $35,966.77, which doesn't sound like a ton of money. And in about 2007, my income had doubled, so I was making about $4,000 a month. Let's look at the example of me doubling what I was originally investing. So let's say I was investing $800 and then plus my rental income, which if each roommate was paying me $500, that would be $1,000. So a total of $1,800 per month. So just taking that original amount that I already had invested, that $35,000, and then increasing my monthly investment to $1,800. And I continued to do that every month through November of 2021. My total balance would be $1,191,154.59. So you can see the power of investing your money. If you would have left that money in a savings account, you would have nowhere near $1 million. You would basically just have the money that you were putting into the account. And of course, this is a very simple example. My income didn't just double all of a sudden at one point. It continued to increase and even decrease at some point, and then come back up. And then I received raises along the way, and then other income that was coming in. It doesn't include other rental income. It doesn't include a 401k or a Roth IRA or an HSA, any other type of investment, right? But I just wanted to show you a very simple example. If you are committed and you just invest each month, continue to do that over time, you will easily become a millionaire. And when I had started investing my money, I wasn't sure where exactly to put it. Should I set up an individual retirement account, an IRA, or a Roth IRA, or should I max out my 401k, or should I save it all for real estate? There were a lot of questions that I had, but the thing is, I chose one and I got started investing. If I would have just continued to think about where I wanted to invest my money, then it wouldn't be invested and it wouldn't be growing. So do a little bit of research and figure out where would be a good place to invest your money and start investing it. And later on, if you decided, oh, I should have done a Roth IRA instead of a traditional IRA, that's fine. At least your money is invested and you can switch it over to a Roth IRA over time. But it's really important that we do not get stuck in the analysis paralysis, right? So we aren't just continuing to wonder where we should invest our money and be doing a ton of research and then not take any action. I know this is really tricky for real estate since the real estate market has drastically increased recently. I know a lot of people are wondering, oh, should I wait to buy? Should I wait for the market to cool off? But honestly, just run the numbers. If you find a house that works, then buy the house and invest your money. And next year, if the real estate market does drop, that's okay. You still ran your numbers and you're doing fine, and you can probably invest in another property at a lower price. What helped me the most to become a millionaire was really investing my money and taking that long-term perspective. I wasn't worried about dips in the short term. I was more focused on the long term. How is this going to perform over 5 years, over 10 years? Will it increase in value? Yes, all of my properties and my stock market investments have drastically increased over time. And just think about it. When you look back at 10 years ago, people were thinking, oh, prices are really high for investing in real estate or even in the stock market. But you look at those prices today, they are astronomically higher. Prices continue to rise over time, as we are seeing a lot lately, especially with the inflation rates that are higher. So the sooner you are able to invest your money, the better off you are going to be, because you can keep that long-term perspective. Another thing that has helped me become an overnight millionaire is really trying to take the emotion out of money. The emotion of money is what makes money hard. Money is strictly a tool. It's a resource that we can use. And when we realize that we can just let go of any fear or shame or doubt that we have around money, that we can realize, okay, it's a tool, it's a resource. Maybe I haven't used it the best in the past, but that's in the past, and I can create my new future. I can let go of that emotion around money and invest my money. And I get that that's not always easy. It's not always easy to take that emotion out of money, especially if you were raised in an environment where it was a scarcity mindset and there was great fear around money, or especially around losing money or not making enough money. But if we can just try to take a step back and think it's just a resource, what's happened in the past is in the past, and going forward, I can do much better. I was afraid to invest my money. I was thinking, oh, am I going to lose all of my money if I put it in the stock market? But once I did a little bit of research and I found out that's not how it works. The stock market continues to rise over time. Yes, it will go up and down, but the trend is going up. Then I felt more comfortable investing my money, and I have not lost all of my money. I've been able to grow it drastically. And I mentioned this a little bit before, but being able to focus in on a certain financial goal will be really beneficial to becoming a millionaire. It could even be the goal of becoming a millionaire, because once you have that financial goal, then you can look at the larger picture and think, okay, what is actually going to help me become a millionaire? Is it really buying lottery tickets, or taking that amount you would spend on lottery tickets and investing it in a total stock market fund in the stock market? Is it really going on shopping trips and buying a whole bunch of new clothes? Or is it maybe buying one thing that you really love and then putting the rest in the stock market or toward a down payment on a house? And that's exactly what I did when I was buying one of my properties. I was spending a lot of money on clothes that I didn't need to be spending on clothes. So I took that amount and I saved up for a down payment. And of course, since I was focused on saving up for that down payment, I was spending less money elsewhere to put toward that down payment. By having that one goal, other things start to fall into place to help you reach that goal. And going along with setting goals, really spending on your priorities is something else that has helped me to become an overnight millionaire. Before, I would just spend money on things that weren't really important to me. A lot of my friends would go out to eat a lot, and I don't really care to go out to eat that much. So I would take that money and put it towards something that was important to me, whether that was a certain financial goal, like a down payment on a house, or traveling. That is something that is a priority to me. I love to travel, so I would much rather spend my money traveling than eating out. So really think about, what are your priorities? What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? And spend your money there, and then cut back elsewhere. And when you are cutting back elsewhere, you can also put that money toward investing. Another thing that I want to talk about is keeping a budget or tracking your spending. This is something that I had done starting at a young age. I had this really cute pink graph paper that I would write my budget line items on, and I would keep track of all of my money on this pink paper. And I use a free app called Personal Capital. You may have heard me talk about this, but you can hook all of your financial accounts into Personal Capital. You can see your full financial picture in one place. So I would highly recommend tracking your finances and working towards some type of goal. And if you're interested in personal capital, I'll leave my referral link below in the description. Being able to see where you're spending all of your money and how much you actually have coming in, how much is in your savings, in your retirement, it really helps you have that financial picture, and you can start to say, oh wow, I spent a lot on eating out this month. I really need to change my habits and not eat out as much. Or you may see subscriptions on there that you've forgotten about. You can cancel those subscriptions and then put that money toward investing. You won't even miss it. Those are a few things that have helped me to become an overnight millionaire. So really focus in on investing as much as possible as soon as possible, and focus in on a certain financial goal, and make sure you are aware of your full financial picture, where all of your money is going, and try to take the emotion out of money. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information, and hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more content from me, check out the videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.